Hello, everyone. I thought we'd just start things just a few minutes early, just a few seconds early, just to get some of the housekeeping out of way and all of that sort of stuff. So as usual, welcome to our live stream. If you're watching this live, we do it every Friday at 2:30 in the afternoon. And if you are watching it live, if you can hear what I'm saying, if you could just confirm that the audio is okay. If you're watching live on YouTube or you're watching the recording on YouTube, if you think the volume is low, clearly make sure you've got the volume turned up on your PC, and also the slider button that you can see there that I've shown in my very professionally done slide. Make sure the volume on your YouTube thing is up as well. There's lots happening this week. Loads of strength in commodities this week. It's not a market that we normally look at, but it is one that I trade quite a bit. Great moves. We'll have a look at these. So the format for today, as usual, is, if I can find my presentation, the format for today, as usual, a quick recap of what's happened last week, a look ahead to some of the major events for next week. Then we will look at markets. So we look at our usual markets. Then I'll go into the chat and see what markets you want looking at. So I will get to it. I think last week we had a couple of people spamming the chat all the time with the same market. Don't do that. If you put your market in once, then it's fine. I will get to it. So because then it makes it hard for me to actually find what we're looking for. Let's do the risk warning. This presentation is only for educational purposes. This presentation does not contain and should not be construed as containing investment advice or an investment recommendation or an offer of or solicitation for a transaction in any financial instrument. David Jones and Capital.com accept no responsibility for any use that may be made of these comments and for any consequences that result. Spread bets and CFDs are complex instruments and come with a high risk of losing money rapidly due to leverage. 71.2% of retail investor accounts lose money when spread betting and or trading CFDs with this provider. You should consider whether you understand how spread bets and CFDs work and whether you can afford to take the high risk of losing your money. Okay. Our special offer of the day, we always do this, of course, every week we do something. So the deal today, zero spread on pound against the US dollar. So if you're a client of ours and you trade pound against the dollar, which is a really interesting market at the moment anyway, because we're nearly at a 3-year high at the moment, there's no spread to pay. So if you're a client, you can trade that till 6 p.m. tonight with no spread. If you're not a client, you can open an account really easily and take advantage of that. So that's our special offer for today, zero spread on pound against the dollar. There you go. Right, important events for next week. Tuesday, the 23rd of February, UK unemployment data. That will be interesting. I think unemployment data is always interesting at the moment, given, of course, the year we've just been through with furlough and economy shut down, all of that. Wednesday, the 24th of February, is Eurozone GDP. So how did the European economy do in the fourth quarter? Of course, we know the UK economy shrunk by nearly 10% last year. And then Thursday of next week, US GDP, Q4. So that's that. Well, a quick run through the markets. Then, of course, we will jump onto the platform and look at things in more detail. Stock markets, all-time highs again. In the USA over the last week, a bit weaker the last couple of days, but I think they have bounced back. We'll take a look at those. European indices a little bit weaker, maybe picking up a bit today. We'll take a look at all of this. New lows for the year for gold. Gold is slipping through, or is right on big support, I think. So it doesn't look that clever at the moment. Gold. We'll take a look at that. Bitcoin, new highs again. The market I love to hate, through $50,000 for Bitcoin this week. And crude oil, who'd have thought it? Crude oil carries on higher over the last week. I think it's been off a bit the last couple of days, but pushed through $60 a barrel this week. Really strong trend in crude. We'll take a look at that. FX, pound against the dollar, before I started, I think was above 140. We'll take a look at that in more detail. We did do that trade last week, didn't we? Pound against the dollar. For those of you who are here live, we'll take a look at that. Euro dollar continues to reverse recent weakness. I think the euro is interesting. I think it is turning around, and it has been turning around. That's it. Let's take a look. I think let's start with pound against the dollar. I think there's a whole load of I'm going to make a couple of what I hope are going to be useful trading points today, because there are markets that we never look at because they're not that popular with people, but they're really interesting, like copper. So we are going to come to copper today because it really is. It's breaking. I think it's at a 9-year high or something ridiculous. It's just at this moment that my broadband has decided to slow down, of course. So here we go, we're back. Copper. So I think my broadband does get a little bit hammered now and again when I'm running these live streams. If you're watching this live, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. So if you subscribe to our channel on YouTube, what was I going to say? We put out 3 videos a week. And I tell you what's interesting. What I think is the interesting stuff, like the pound against the dollar, hardly anybody watches that. What I think is the boring market, and I think it still is, silver, that's the one that gets the most views. So I do think with trading, people end up looking at the wrong things. So, yeah, there you go. But we'll talk more about that as we go through today. What's happening here? Hang on a second. This isn't a good start, is it? That suddenly everything's decided to run a little bit slow at my end. Just hold on a sec, and I'll try and reboot this and see what I'll restart it, I should say, and get going. Okay, hold on a sec. It's sod's law, isn't it? I sit on my PC virtually all week and everything works fine, and then I come to do a live stream to think about us. Decided to grind to a halt. Let's try it again. Okay, hold on a second. I'm just going to see if I've got another way into this. Just bear with me. Let me see if I can get an answer for somebody. Hang on, because I do have an alternative way in here. Just hold on a sec. All right, let me try this. Apologies for this. Let me talk about it while we're waiting for stuff to come up. What I was saying was, with the YouTube stuff, everyone tends to get excited, and when it comes to markets, people look at markets, the same markets all the time, like silver. We always have lots of interest in silver when we do a video on silver, but it's a really boring market at the moment, like I was saying last week. And then we have other markets like copper and cotton that have put in incredible performances over the last week, and there's very little interest in them. So I'd say, I think as traders, it's a good idea to perhaps broaden the range of markets that we want to look at, because I was looking at where I've met what have been the most successful markets for me this year, and it's been platinum, cotton, and sugar. Sugar's another market with a great trend, but on the odd occasion we do videos on that, there's really very little interest in these markets. I'm just getting a message now. Let me see what's going on with this. I think what I'm going to do, rather than us all hanging around, if you're subscribed to our channel, I'm going to stop this live stream, try and fix this issue, and start it again in perhaps 3 o'clock, so in 20 minutes. Let's do that. So what I'll do, if you're subscribed with an alarm bell thing, the alarm bell notification clicked, you'll get a notification of YouTube. I'm really sorry about that. I was really looking forward to doing this. There's a lot to talk about today. Let me try and fix this at my end. We'll start again in 20 minutes. So I'll stop this live stream, schedule a new one, start at 3 if everything's working, and we'll do it then.